Hello there you guys, welcome to another one of my live videos, and today I'm just going to be officially updating you on some more current latest transfer rumours and gossip. So if you do consider drop your likes, and if you do consider subscribe to the channel as always. So we do know that investment is needed into Manchester United in the summer. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is obviously going to have his say on our transfer plans in the summer, because obviously he's been regularly been discussing with Ed Woodward what players should come in, and what players should leave Manchester United in the summer as well. And I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has actually told reportedly has told Ed Woodward the three players he wants sold by Manchester United this summer as well. So obviously reportedly we're going to get around £200 million to spend this summer as well. There's still some contract renewals to sort out as well. But I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did say to the Manchester United board he wants around 4 signings this summer of course as well, because obviously want to be come back a competitive elite level football club, and obviously want to be challenging for the league next season. Obviously it's still not been officially announced as yet that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will be the Manchester United manager, of course, on a full-time basis. But I think he's still on the brink of getting the Manchester United job on a full-time basis. He's Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as well. Based on his fantastic progression he has done so far. Since he's come to the club, and it only cost us around £7-8 million. So he's only a cheap alternative. £7-8 million would have to pay to give Solskjaer the job on a full-time basis. And I think Manchester United do want to announce this before the end of the month, as reports did say, or we do want to announce this, of course, before the end of the season, of course, as well. Manchester United are still looking, at the possibility of Pochettino. Ed Woodward, still may want Pochettino as Manchester United manager at the end of the season, of course, as well, because obviously Solskjaer's done really, really good, since he's coming. We've had a good 3 months under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. The performances have been positive. He's been getting the best out of the players. The results have been very, very positive as well. But obviously, we know Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, obviously, hasn't got a great managerial pedigree at the moment in terms of like achieving or winning any type of major honours and all that as well. But I think that is to come. Definitely. As I currently said, we suffered back-to-back defeats. Before this international break come ahead. But every team has a bad spell. So hopefully we can get back to winning ways after the international break. And we can beat Watford of course as well. So Solskjaer is the best option in my opinion. To be quite honest with you, but he hasn't got a great managerial pedigree at the moment. He hasn't got that managerial experience of course as well. If Solskjaer is to get the Manchester United job on the full-time basis, of course, I think he's planning to have a long tenure as manager. I think he's looking ahead for the next 5 or 10 years or something like that, because he hasn't really experienced a long tenure at the moment, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as manager, because he had 2 spells with Mould. He only had a short tenure with Cardiff. He managed the Manchester United reserve team for only a couple of years as well. But I think he's identified the areas where he thinks Manchester United, of course, do need to strengthen up as well. I think he's identified the areas where he thinks we need to strengthen up. I think his main priority, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, is recommending the right winger to come to Manchester United in the summer as well. Of course, we do need that right hand side of dressing, because it seems to be a lot of the experienced players that's causing us the problems, and it would be ideal for Manchester United to get some young ambitious players in the summer, to be quite honest with you as well. But breaking news, I'm going to give you an update on is in relation to Paul Pogba. He has given a transfer hint as Paul Pogba, so he has mentioned about Real Madrid and all that, but he still suggests that he's happy with Manchester United. Is Paul Pogba, of course. Reports do say that reportedly, what did he say now? Real Madrid is a dream club, but he insists he's happy at Manchester United. But obviously, he does admit, does Paul Pogba, playing for Zinedine Zidane at Real Madrid, would be a dream for him. But reportedly, he still suggests he's happy at Manchester United. And of course, if we'd still had Jose Mourinho, I do think Paul Pogba, definitely, would have left Manchester United, to be quite honest with you, because obviously we've seen the best of Paul Pogba, within this 3-month period, that we've had Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, to be quite honest with you, has been inconsistent, in the last couple of games, and he hasn't been playing to his potential best, Paul Pogba. But obviously, we know he's been one of our most influential players. Of course, Novo, he's got a pretty decent pedigree. He had 4 good years, when he was with Juventus. Obviously, when obviously Manchester United had Jose Mourinho, of course, Manchester United, he was linked with a move away from Manchester United. There were talks about him going back to Juventus. It also said that Barcelona were interested in Paul Pogba as well. But he is a really, really good player, and when he's playing in this kind of vein, he's one of the best attacking midfielders in world football. Because as I said, he stands out more, when he's playing in that number 10 position, just behind the centre forward, because he plays them delicate passes through. As I said, he provides good services to the front men and all that as well. And he's still in the contract with Manchester United till 2021, and he has still got a lot of years ahead of him as well. So hopefully somewhere along the line, Manchester United, can come to an agreement of getting, Paul Pogba a new contract. There was talks before that, Manchester United, Riley Ola, his agent, and the Manchester United board were set to have contract negotiations, regarding Paul Pogba as well. But he does deserve a new contract, based on his fantastic performances, of course, as well. And obviously, Zinedine Zidane's just been reappointed Real Madrid manager. He's French, obviously, Paul Pogba's French and all that as well. And obviously Zinedine Zidane's just signed. He's got a contract now with Real Madrid till 2022. This is his second spell in charge of Real Madrid. Of course, Zinedine Zidane's as well. After he was 10 months managerless, but this is now his second spell in charge of Real Madrid, and obviously he's already planning for an investment in the summer as well. He's Zinedine Zidane, and he has identified quite a few targets as well as Zinedine Zidane. So reportedly, actually, Zinedine Zidane did tell Real Madrid, to hold negotiations, with currently Paul Pogba's agent regarding the summer move and all that as well. But he did say, he does like Real Madrid, does Paul Pogba. He said, it would be a dream playing for him, but he still insists that he feels settled with Manchester United, of course, and obviously, he wants to stay at Manchester United, so that's the big breaking news and all that as well. And obviously, the club is still looking to hire a director of football to come in as well. So I do think Solskjaer will get the job on a full-time basis, to be quite honest with you, and I think he's on the brink of getting the job full-time as well. Obviously, I do want to get that Champions League for next season as well, which is very, very essential indeed that we get Champions League for next season, so we can have a more competitive summer window in that aspect. And obviously, that's us either, win the Champions League and get automatic Champions League for next season, or obviously, us getting the top four, because, there's quite a few teams, going for that top four now, of course, as well. I think the best chance we had of winning silverware this season, obviously, was the FA Cup. We could still win the Champions League. I don't see it happening, to be quite honest with you, but anything's possible, of course, as well. But other transfer rumours that have been going on, as I have been keeping you guys up to date with, is in relation to Jadon Sancho. Now, more reports have updated about Jadon Sancho, and I think we've identified him as our number one summer target, to be quite honest with you, Jadon Sancho. So reports are coming out of the media saying that reportedly Borussia Dortmund are demanding that they want around £100 million for Jadon Sancho. From Manchester United's perspective, we believe that we can land him in an £80 million deal, reportedly as well. But it is going to take a bid at least of 80, maybe 90 million at least, to convince Borussia Dortmund, to sanction him off this summer as well. And he's attracted interest, from quite a few teams across Europe as Jadon Sancho. He's mainly a winger, of course, as well. And he's a really, really good player as Jadon Sancho. He only broke into the England first team last year, of course, as well, did Jadon Sancho. And his performances for Borussia Dortmund have been absolutely fantastic indeed. Shows that ability to attack. He can score goals, and I think he complement our attacking line very, very well. And don't forget, he's only young. He has got a lot of years ahead of him, to grow and develop and all that as well. But Manchester United have been heavily linked to him, and there's been a narrative going on about it for the last 3 or 4 weeks now. Manchester United, have really expressed an interest in Jadon Sancho and all that. He has still got a contract with Borussia Dortmund until 2022, as we all know as well. And obviously, he's had experience of playing English football, because don't forget, obviously he served a couple of years with Manchester City, of course. He never broke into the Manchester City first team, so obviously he never broke into the Manchester City first team, did Jadon Sancho, of course, as well. This is the main reason he left Man City and went to Borussia Dortmund, of course, as well. And he actually began his youth career with Watford as well. So if Manchester United were to come to an agreement to get Jadon Sancho in the summer for probably 100 million, this would make him the most expensive English footballer ever, of course, as well. And obviously, we've got the financial power to meet his valuation, because we didn't invest in the January transfer window, of course. I know overall, we've invested a lot of money, since Alex Ferguson, retired and all that, must have invested £800 million and all that as well, but we didn't invest in January. So obviously, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer now is still in the process of rebuilding this Manchester United team, and obviously, he's looking to buy into our history, of course, as well. So Jadon Sancho, Manchester United have been heavily linked with him, of course, as well. Borussia Dortmund only paid £8 million for him from Manchester City a couple of years ago. Now, obviously, at that time, Manchester United, were linked with Jadon Sancho then as well. So Manchester United have been heavily linked with him as well, and I do think we're going to go for him in the summer. But reports do say I think Dortmund are demanding, they want around £100 million for him. Dortmund have been known for doing business with other players, because don't forget they sold Aubameyang 58-59 million. They also sold Moussa Dembele for 106 million pounds as well. So there's been a lot of talks going on about that in the media as well. Of course, there's been other transfer rumours going on as well. I want to give you an update on. Obviously, we know reports, what's the player called, we know reports have been coming out about Griezmann as well, in the last couple of days, as I've been keeping you up to date on that. Reports have been coming out from Spain, suggesting now that reportedly Manchester United are the front runners and are the favourites to sign Griezmann this summer, because Antoine Griezmann, he's spent the entirety of his playing career in Spain, as we all know, and obviously, before, in the past, he's been linked to a move to Manchester United, and obviously, a couple of years ago, we was on the brink of getting Griezmann, but obviously, due to Atletico Madrid's transfer transfer ban, we failed in our pursuit of getting Antoine Griezmann, of course, as well. But reports do say that he's demanding that he wants to leave Atletico Madrid this summer, of course, because obviously last summer he turned down the opportunity to join Barcelona because it was looking likely Barcelona were going to get him last summer. But obviously he remained loyal to Atletico Madrid last summer, turned Barcelona down, and committed to sign, and he signed a new contract with Atletico Madrid last summer. I think he signed a 5-year deal with Atletico last summer as well. And I think this is what his 5th season now, is it? With Atletico Madrid, and he's that type of player. He plays to the highest level, and he's that type of player that obviously wants to be winning silverware and wants to be up there competing for silverware. And he hasn't really experienced this at Atletico Madrid, to be quite honest with you. I know he's won the Europa League with Atletico Madrid, he's won the Super Cup and that with Atletico Madrid, but maybe he wants to go to a club that can challenge up there for major honours and all that. I think Manchester United can do this in the new season. If we can start challenging for the league, if we can get the right players to come to Manchester United this summer, of course, as well. But Griezmann's still under contract with Atletico Madrid till 2023, and obviously it's increasingly likely now he will leave this summer, because some reports do mention, because his current release clause is £171 million, is Griezmann's, but reports are suggesting now that it will reduce by £70 million this summer as well. So I think his release clause this summer will be £100 million will Antoine Griezmann's as well. And obviously it would be beneficial for him to come to Manchester United, and I think he'd fit into the Manchester United team very, very well with Antoine Griezmann, to be quite honest, because he'd link up very, very well with the likes of Paul Pogba, and obviously they're both French as well. Of course, Martial's French as well, and he's got a good friendship with Paul Pogba as Antoine Griezmann as well. He's really, really good in the air. He's a prolific goal scorer. He's proven this in Spain, and it would be good for him to come and experience the Premier League of course as well. So Manchester United may go for him in the summer as well, but reports do mention from Spain Man United are the favourites to sign him. It's also said Munich have been interested, PSG I think have been interested, but now Barcelona have called their interest in the player of course as well. So we know that there has been talks going on about that in the media as well. And also too, as I do keep updating you guys on as well, we know basically rumours are still coming out about Gareth Bale, and as I do keep mentioning to you guys, I don't want Gareth Bale at Manchester United, of course. As I said, he's too old, is Gareth Bale, as I currently said. He's getting too old now. He's not at that highest level, as he was, and he used to be one of the best players in the world. If you cast back 2 or 3 years ago, he was one of the best players in the world, was Gareth Bale. But now I think he's still very, very good, because his ratio is still very, very good. But I just don't want Manchester United to sign him, because we know the rumours have been going on since 2013. Bale's been linked with a move to Old Trafford and all that, and in the process, it's never currently happened. Maybe a year or 2 ago I would have took Bale to Manchester United, of course, as well. But he's nearly 30 years of age now. He's Gareth Bale. He's plainly obvious. Real Madrid don't want him now. They want to sell him off in the summer, of course, because Florentino Perez, the Real Madrid president, has increasingly become very, very frustrated with Bale at Real Madrid, of course, as well. But he has still got a contract with Real Madrid until 2022 as Gareth Bale as well. But I think if he had the opportunity, he would come back to the Premier League, to be quite honest with you. But I don't want Gareth Bale at Manchester United. Solskjaer hasn't really said much, of Bale, being linked to a move to Manchester United. But maybe from Ed Woodward's perspective, he may want to recommend Bale, to come to Manchester United, of course, as well. But I know he's got a decent pedigree as Gareth Bale, because obviously all his silverware he's won is obviously come at Real Madrid, of course. It's his 6th season now at Real Madrid. Is Gareth Bale's, but I wouldn't want him at Manchester United. He's aging up, he's on the decline. He's got a record of injuries as well, so he's an injury-prone player. Is Gareth Bale as well. But there has been talks about him, coming back to the Premier League, and obviously Real Madrid paid £85 million for him, was it, or £86 million from him from Tottenham, back in 2013 as well. But I think it'll be hard for Real Madrid, to recoup that initial amount of money, that they paid for him from Tottenham. They still may get £55-60 million for him, but they won't recoup the £85-86 million. They did currently pay for him as well. But there has been a lot of talks going on about him, as I currently said. But as I did say, he's 29, he's nearly 30 now. He's Gareth Bale, and I wouldn't want him at Manchester United, to be quite honest with you as well. When he was younger, he had six good years with Tottenham. He began his career with Southampton as well, so he is Premier League proven. But I just wouldn't want him at Manchester United. I don't think he's our priority target, but we still know that the rumours are going on. There's been talks that he could still come to Old Trafford as well. Gareth Bale. And other transfer rumours I'm going to give you an update on as well. Obviously, we know Manchester United, of course, need a centre-back and all that as well. And we need an experienced centre-back, we need a world-class centre-back, because I do keep saying, we haven't had one, since we had the likes of Vidic and Ferdinand, of course, at Manchester United as well. So we do know there's been a lot of talks going on in the media in the past couple of days in relation to Costas Manolas as well, the Roma centre-back. I've been giving you an update on that as well, because reports coming out saying that Arsenal have showed building interest because Arsenal obviously are looking to address their defensive deficiencies, and obviously we need to address our defensive deficiencies as well, even though we have improved defensively, since Solskjaer has come into Manchester United. But, there's a few targets who have been interested, in bolstering our defence up. But Costas Manolas has been mentioned in the last couple of days, as I said, and reports are coming out from Italy saying that reportedly Manchester United or Arsenal, could land Costas Manolas in a cut price fee this summer if Roma failed to qualify for the Champions League for next season. So reports do say from Italy that Costas Manolas will be allowed to leave Roma this summer if they fail to get in the top four and obviously get into a Champions League for next season as well. Costas Manolas, I don't really know much about him, as I said before. He's under contract with Roma till 2022. He's tall as well, and he's 27 years of age. He's Greek, and of course, he's been at Roma a number of years now. I think he's made about 200 appearances in all competitions for Roma. I think he's been there a number of years now. This is his fifth season now with Roma. Of course, he's Costas Manolas as well. He's also obviously an ex-Olympiacos player. Of course, he's an ex-Athens player as well. He's Costas Manolas. But reportedly, he could be available for a reasonable fee this summer because his release clause in his contract is around £31 million. Is Costas Manolas as well. Manchester United, have been linked with Costas Manolas in the past as well. But his release clause is around 31 million. But from Roma's perspective, reportedly they want to remove his release clause so they can invest a bit more money on the player as well. So if they don't get in Champions League for next season, it's likely he's going to leave Roma this summer. But Manchester United and Arsenal have been interested in this player as well. But he's 27, and I don't think he's a world-class centre-back. I don't think he's nowhere near on the same levels as the likes of the Diego Gordons or the Rafael Varans or the Koulibalis and all that as well. And I don't think he's been a priority for Manchester United, but Manchester United have expressed an interest in him as well. And he's going to be available, don't forget, for a cut price fee, reportedly as well. So there's been talks about that going on as well in the media. I want to give you an update on. Obviously, reports are coming out the other day as well about Rafael Varane. I want to, as I've been giving you an update on, and I would love Rafael Varane, to come to Manchester United. To be quite honest with you, he's a world-class centre back, still only 25 years of age, of course, still in his prime, still got a lot of years ahead of him. As I said, he probably would cost quite a bit of money, with Rafael Varane. But again, Manchester United have got the financial power to meet his valuation. Reports do say that reportedly he's been at Real Madrid a number of years now. I think this is his 8th season now at Real Madrid. Reports have been coming out saying that reportedly Rafael Varane may consider leaving Real Madrid this summer reportedly as well, even though Zinedine Zidane has been reappointed in of course as well. And Manchester United have been linked with Rafael Varane in the past as well. But he's a really good world-class centre-back, and I think he'd complement Lindelof in our central defensive area very well, and he'd stand out very well in our defence, and I think he'd be a good leader in our back line, to be quite honest with you, because he adapts every area of his game very well. He's good in the air, he reads the game very well. He shows that ability to play out from the back, and he's just an absolutely world-class player. He's Rafael Varane of course as well, and we do know it costed staggering amounts of money, but reports have been coming out saying that he could leave Real Madrid this summer as well. But I do really like Rafael Varane. Obviously spent the majority of his career in Spain with Real Madrid of course as well, and he's won a host of honours. And he's only 25. He's won 16 honours as a Real Madrid player. He has been at Real Madrid since 2011. He's made over 200 odd appearances in all competitions as well as Rafael Varane, and obviously was very good in the World Cup as well. And obviously obviously began his career with Lens. He risen up their youth system. He only spent one season actually, in the senior team, with Lens as well. In France, did Rafael Varane as well. But I do really highly rate him, to be quite honest with you, because definitely we do need a centre back. We do know that there's been talks, going on about Toby Alderweireld as well. For me, Toby Alderweireld, as I do keep saying, he's too old now. He's getting too old. He's 30 years of age. To be quite honest with you, in my opinion, I do think he's on the decline a little bit now. Is Toby Alderweireld. Of course, reports coming out the other day saying that Tottenham are resigned to losing Toby Alderweireld to Manchester United. Obviously, based on his refusal, to renew his contract with Tottenham. Obviously, Manchester. He did say Man United have expected to sign him this summer because obviously he's been a Manchester United target in the past. Because obviously Manchester United, were linked with him last summer, of course as well. Toby Alderweireld. But now he's nearly 30 years of age. Is Toby Alderweireld. Let's be honest, just recently turned 30. He can be a world-class central defender. He's Premier League proven, but I think he's lost that yard of pace. To be quite honest with you, as Alderweireld as well. And Tottenham will be desperate to keep him because Tottenham are going to find it hard, to find an adequate, replacement for Alderweireld as well. But reports are coming out about that the other day. Obviously, his release clause is 26 million, of course, because obviously Tottenham last year activated a 12-month extension, included a release clause of 26 million pounds. So he is going to be available for a reasonable fee this summer, as well as Toby Alderweireld, of course, as well. So yeah, we've been linked to with four centre backs. So my best option for the with the centre back, we need to get in is obviously Koulibaly and all that as well. But I don't think Koulibaly will happen, to be quite honest, because I think he's happy at Napoli, to be quite honest. Even though we've been linked to him in the past couple of windows as well. But as I did currently say, what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has basically said, guys, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's come out and he's basically said, he's told reportedly he's told Ed Woodward, the three players he wants sold this summer. And obviously we know that Antonio Valencia is definitely leaving Manchester United, of course, as well, because obviously we opted against that decision, to give him that new 1-year contract extension, and he has been here since 2009, so he has been a long servant at the club, of course, Valencia, and he has been here since 2009, of course, as well. And this is his 10th season. He's made over 300 appearances in all competitions, but initially he's lost his place in the team anyway, because obviously Ashley Young is our first choice right back, and obviously Valencia he's got a calf injury at the moment as well. He comes to an end of his contract at the end of the season, of course, as well. So he's definitely on his way out. I think probably when Young's contract when his 1 year expires, because obviously recently we've just signed a 1 year extension on his contract, but when that expires, by the time that he'll be nearly 35 years of age, and then Ashley Young, of course, he'll be on his way out as well, and he's been here a good 7-8 seasons now as Ashley Young as well. And of course, I think Rojo's going to be on his way out of Manchester United in the summer as well. Enjoyed a very, very difficult time as a Manchester United player. Suffered a string of injuries, of course, just now recovered from injury, after being out injured, for a long time as well. And we know mainly he isn't our first choice centre back anyway. He's Marcus Rojo. He is good there as a backup option, because he is versatile and all that. Is Marcus Rojo, but to be quite honest, I think he's on his way out of Manchester United, if I'm going to be quite honest, because mostly he's been going with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer since Smalling's recovered from injury. He's been going obviously with Smalling and Victor Lindelof as a centre back partnership, and to be quite fair, they have been blending in, fantastically well, of Smalling and Victor Lindelof, to be quite honest with you as well. I don't know what's happening with Bay, because obviously Eric Bay's been in and out of the team this season, but Bay has still got great potential, as we all know as well. Definitely as well, I think Sanchez is on his way out of Manchester United this summer as well. Definitely Sanchez will leave Manchester United this summer. Again, enjoyed a very, very difficult time as a Manchester United player, as Alexis Sanchez, of course, as well. Been here just over the year, of course. He's already sustained a string of injuries, since he's been at Manchester United. He's out now with a knee injury, of course, as well, as Alexis Sanchez. Of course, Manchester United, may have to consider, loaning Sanchez out this summer, of course, as well, because obviously it's going to be hard, for Manchester United, of course, to find a buyer for Sanchez this summer, of course, as well. Considering the substantial wages he's currently on, which is over £500,000 a week, and all that as well. And he's just been very, very inconsistent for Manchester United. When he has been given the chance, he just looks so restricted. He just looks as though he hasn't been getting that freedom out as well to express himself for all that. And he's been very, very poor for Manchester United. He just hasn't fitted under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer system. This is 14th month now at Manchester United. Don't forget now, he is age 30 now, of course, as well. And I do think he'll end up losing that number 7 shirt, to be quite honest with you. Unless Sanchez, is willing to take a wage cut or something like that. I do not know. But I think Manchester United, may consider, sanctioning him out on loan in the summer as well. So definitely for me, he's 30 now anyway, and he has lost a yard of pace. He's definitely on his way out of Manchester United, of course, as well. So definitely, we do expect departures in the summer, of course, as well. But as I did say, we've done really, really well, considering the amount of injuries Manchester United have had most recently. We know players are now starting to recover from injury, which is very, very good indeed. And as I did currently say, it's good that Solskjaer's got trustworthy in the young players. It's good that the young players again in Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's trust. But when Solskjaer came in, regardless of the injuries, he's going to give everybody the chance. The fringe players, the young players, which Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has currently done as well. As we all currently know, Manchester United have still got injuries, as we all know. Obviously Rojo's just recovered from injury, so he's not injured now anyway. Valencia's got a calf injury. Is Darmian still injured? I'm not too sure. Is Darmian still injured? I think Darmian is still injured. To be quite honest with you, and he's another player that's going to likely leave Manchester United as well, because he's endured a very, very difficult time as a Manchester United player, as well as Matteo Darmian. So I think he's on his way out in the summer, to be quite honest with you as well. And And we know Lukaku as well. I think he's still out with an ankle injury as well. So yeah, I think he's missing the Belgium's games during this international break as well. He's got an ankle injury as Romelu Lukaku, of course, as well. I hope his ankle injury is not too severe. I think he has been assessed and he has been sent for the scan and all that as Romelu Lukaku. But most recently, he has regained his position in the team. And when he has been getting that support up front, Lukaku, he has looked more effective. To be quite honest with you, and overall, he's got a very very good pedigree in the Premier League as Romelu Lukaku, of course, as well. And obviously, initially they lost his place. He'd lost his place in the team because obviously mainly Rashford was first choice, of course, as well. But obviously, most recently, Lukaku's regained his position in the team. His form's been very, very good, and his form's been rejuvenated. Since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has come in as well. Romelu Lukaku, and he's sustained quite a few injuries as a Manchester United player, but now he's currently sustained an ankle injury, and reportedly, he's sustained this against Paris Saint-Germain in the Champions League as well. So we hope that's not too severe, of course, as well. And obviously, we've just seen players recently coming back from injury. I think it did mention that Matic has suffered. Has he suffered an injury, something like that? I didn't really read the full thing. So is he missing Serbia's games or something like that? That I did hear about. But initially, before anyway, he was injured, and obviously, Matic, played, against Arsenal. And he played against Arsenal. Who else did he play? If I played against Arsenal, and he also played against Wolves as well. And his performances were very, very poor. To be quite honest with you, and Nemanja Matic's. But obviously, he's just initially recovered from injury. Herrera, of course, has just recovered from injury as well. He's just recently had a hamstring injury as well, as under Herrera. But to be quite honest with you, when obviously we had Herrera and Matic and all that injured, when we saw Solskjaer give the chances to the likes of Andres Pereira and Scott McTominay, they were very, very impressive indeed. McTominay played very, very well. I thought Andres Pereira, played very, very well indeed. When we had the injuries, when we had them string of injuries, of course, I thought they put good performances out. To be quite honest with you, as well. So yeah. And so that's mainly everything to update today. So what basically Paul Pogba's come out and said is, he's given us transfer hint. He dreams about playing under Zinedine Zidane for Real Madrid and all that, but he still insists he's happy at Manchester United, of course, because obviously he's getting the best out of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's Paul Pogba. He's back to his potential best. Again, as I've always said, he's always been a world class player as Paul Pogba, of course, because obviously we paid £89 million for him. Of course, he's our most expensive signing, of course, as well. But we're starting to see the best out of Paul Pogba now. So I think he wants to remain loyal to Manchester United. He is still under contract here till 2021, and hopefully somewhere along the line, we can come to the agreement of getting, Paul Pogba a new contract at Manchester United, of course, as well. That would be a very, really good indeed. And I've obviously, already give you the news on David De Gea. Of course, there has been talks going on that Real Madrid, set to revive their interest in David De Gea as well, because obviously we know that Real Madrid, of course, have been long admirers of David De Gea. We've been hearing rumours that Real Madrid are in a swap deal, between Courtois and David De Gea. Reportedly as well. Reportedly Courtois has no interest. He's snubbed a possible move to Manchester United, of course, as well. Because obviously only Real Madrid got him last summer, of course, from Chelsea, as well, as we all currently know. But yeah, I think David De Gea should remain loyal to Manchester United, and hopefully somewhere along the line, in the process, we can come to an agreement of getting De Gea a new contract to Manchester United, because he's grown, developed, and he's potentially the best goalkeeper in the world. He's been here since 2011. This is what his 7th, 8th season now at Manchester United. He's David De Gea's as well. He's made over 300 appearances in all competitions. He's made 100 Premier League clean sheets and all that as well. And he's won everything here domestically in English football, as well as David De Gea, of course, as well. So hopefully somewhere along the line, we can come to the agreement of getting him a new contract. Of course, talks, obviously, reports were coming out before saying that reportedly was demanding De Gea that he wants to be the highest paid player at Manchester United alongside Sanchez. So he's demanding wages in the region of around £400,000 a week, but Manchester United have been in talks over a new £350,000 a week deal for David De Gea. Of course, he's still under contract here until 2020. He's David De Gea. So obviously last year we activated a 12-month extension, of course, as well. But I think Zinedine Zidane is an admirer of David De Gea, of course, as well. So there has also been talks about that going on. So De Gea. Sorry guys about that, went off. But yeah, as I did currently say, guys, yeah, he's been discussing about the club's summer transfer plans, and I think he's getting enough idea now of what players he wants to sell, because he has basically suggested out to Ed Woodward the 3 players that he does that he wants to be sold this summer, as well. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, of course, as well. So I think Solskjaer's priority, is to get a right winner to Manchester United this summer, of course, as well. But Solskjaer's the right man for Manchester United, don't forget, he knows everything about the club, of course, as well. After being a great player, for 11 years under Alex Ferguson, of course, as well. And the difference between Solskjaer and Pochettino is, Solskjaer hasn't really achieved much as a manager at this time being. Pochettino hasn't won out, as a manager, of course, as well. He hasn't won out as a manager, of course, as well, Pochettino, but he has got a bit more managerial experience, let's be honest. But Pochettino doesn't know the club like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Pochettino doesn't know anything about Manchester United whatsoever. So it would be a mistake if Manchester United, did recommend Pochettino to come in at the end of the season. We just need to give Solskjaer the job on a full-time basis, get the right players to come in the summer, and hopefully, we can, be challenging for the new season, of course, as well. And don't forget, Pochettino's going to cost Manchester United a compensation of around 35-40 million. Don't forget, because obviously he signed a 5-year deal with Tottenham last summer. If we decide to give Solskjaer the job full time, it's going to cost us £7-8 million. So we're saving money there, basically. And with that 35-40 million that it would cost us, Pochettino, we could actually, get a signing, with that money, of course, as well. But I just wanted to give you an update today on, all the transfer rumours, that have been going on. I wanted to give you an update on what Paul Pogba's come out in the press and said. He's basically, said he dreamed, he said Real Madrid's a dream club, and all this, but if he insists he's happy with Manchester United, so I think he's going to remain loyal to Manchester United. He's Paul Pogba. Of course, he doesn't know what the future holds, Paul Pogba. He doesn't know where the future holds, but I think at this moment in time, he's definitely, happy at Manchester United, of course, as well. So, anyway, guys, drop your comments, likes below on the channel.